Imagine for a second that you are waking up in a hospital bed, the lights are blindingly white, and a doctor leans over to you. But instead of asking how you feel, he simply asks if you enjoyed the ride. And suddenly you realize that your entire life, every memory of your first kiss, the smell of rain on hot asphalt, the devastating pain of your first heartbreak, and even the very phone you are holding in your hands right now, were nothing more than a series of highly sophisticated subroutines in a massive supercomputer built by a civilization millions of years more advanced than our own. And this isn't just a plot for a science fiction movie, but a legitimate mathematical probability that some of the greatest minds of our time, from Elon Musk to Neil deGrasse Tyson, take dead seriously. Because the more we look at the fabric of our universe, the more we find that it isn't made of solid matter, but of pure information and mathematical code. This is the simulation theory, a mind-bending concept that suggests our reality is actually a high-fidelity video game played by our descendants, or perhaps by a completely different species just to see how history would unfold. And if you think this sounds like a conspiracy theory, you need to consider the terrifying speed of technological progress, because just 40 years ago, we had Pong, which was 2 rectangles and a dot on a screen. And today we have photorealistic virtual realities with millions of people playing simultaneously in persistent worlds. So if you project that progress forward 10,000 years or even 1,000,000 years, the simulations will become indistinguishable from reality itself. The climax of this existential nightmare isn't just that we might be digital characters, but the realization that if any civilization ever reaches the point of creating a universe-scale simulation, they wouldn't just create one, they would create millions of them, which means that statistically speaking, there is a 99.9% chance that we are currently living in one of the copies and not in the original base reality. And researchers are already searching for the glitches in the system, like quantum entanglement, where 2 particles react to each other instantly across the universe, as if they were actually in the same spot in the computer's memory. Or the strange limit of the speed of light, which acts exactly like a hardware processing limit for our universe's engine. If we are in a simulation, then everything you have ever achieved and every person you have ever loved is just a collection of pixels and data points designed to react in specific ways. And the most frightening part of this theory is the shutdown scenario, because if the beings running our world decide that the experiment is over, or if we become too self-aware and try to break the code, they could simply hit the delete button and our entire history, our future, and every soul that ever lived. We are living in a world where the laws of physics look suspiciously like lines of code, where pixels appear at the smallest scales of matter, and where our destiny might be controlled by a teenager in a higher dimension who hasn't even finished his lunch yet. And this realization changes everything about how you should view your daily struggles and your ultimate purpose, because if nothing is real in the traditional sense, then the only thing that truly matters is the experience itself, and how would vanish in a millisecond without leaving a single trace in the cosmos. We interact with the other players in this digital dream. Every time you experience a glitch or a moment of déjà vu, you might be seeing the system struggle to render your reality, and as we get closer to building our own simulations, we are essentially becoming the gods of our own digital universes, perpetuating a cycle of simulated realities within simulated realities that stretches back to the beginning of time. The question isn't just whether we are in a simulation, but who is watching us? What do they want from us? And what happens when the simulation reaches its final chapter? And now that your perception of reality has been shattered into 1,000,000 digital fragments, I need you to tell me honestly in the comments. Have you ever seen a glitch in real life that made you question if any of this is actually real? If your brain is currently reeling from the weight of this possibility, and you want to keep exploring the edges of human knowledge and the mysteries that define our existence, you need to smash that like button right now to hack the algorithm, subscribe to this channel to join our community of truth seekers, and share this video with someone who thinks they have life all figured out. Because the deeper we go into the rabbit hole, the more we realize that the only thing we know for sure is that we know nothing at all.